Hello, hello, hello. Come on in, everybody. It is Wednesday, and I'm always glad to be going live and hanging out here in the Crafty Bunch. Come on in, say hello. My name's Kim, Crafting with Kim. A lot of you folks might already know me, but if you are a newbie, I really appreciate you coming in. Tell me that you are new and tell me where you're from. I'm from Florida and I'm enjoying this amazing weather. I'm staring out at a beautiful sunny 80-degree weather, which is really nice. Excuse me. I'm not picking my nose, it's just itching for some reason. Okay, guys. So I'm kind of hanging out here. I'm in with the Crafty Bunch today and we're doing this event. It's all about hearts. It's all about love. It's all about Valentine's Day and we got me sprinkled over there into the Crafty Bunch already. That's great. I'm just kind of, we always kind of wait a second or two so we can, at least I do, to see there I am. So now I feel like I can kind of move on with confidence because I can see myself in the Crafty Bunch and pull up comments. But thank you for doing that, Miss Mary from the Painted Peach, and all of you folks that are watching. Did you watch Christy paint that little beautiful little flower pots with the wood cutouts? I think the wood cutouts are so great. I love dimensional things in wood, and probably why I love clay so much, because it is sort of along that lines of doing dimensions and that type of thing. But anyway, yeah, so I'm jazzed today. I'm going to be doing something, I don't know. It's going to be the Queen of Hearts. That's what I'm working on. I'm working on a Queen of Hearts, and it's kind of like a hybrid Queen of Hearts between the what was the guy that did the Minnie? Hey Minnie, how are you? Hey, I'm just kind of saying hello to everybody, give them a chance to kind of pop on in here. Thank you for sprinkling, I appreciate it. Pop on in here. But yeah, so I'm doing this Queen of Hearts. It's a little bit about, what's the dude that Tim Burton's version. I haven't even seen the Alice in Wonderland Tim Burton's version. Has anybody seen that? And then like another version, because I want to do something that maybe might be simple enough for people to understand in case they wanted to try to achieve something like this themselves. So like I said, I think it'll turn out good, but some of it's going to be a little bit of an experimentation that was going along. Hey there, Adrena. How are you, darling? How is everything after your little snow fun adventure? You guys all right? That'd be scary, like falling down that snow mountain. I know how that is. That happened to me and my ex-husband one time. It was pretty scary, like almost going off a cliff in the snow. I did see that. Okay. Oh, you're watching while you eat lunch, Minnie. Okay, good deal. Well, I'm glad you caught me. I was actually working a little bit early today, and I always try to catch a little bit of people here and there, in between what I'm doing. Terry, hey, girlfriend, how are you? It's good to have you here. Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm so glad you guys are safe, especially with the little ones and whatnot. All right, guys. So like I said, as you're coming on, I will tell you, like kind of said what I'm doing. Jeannie's next after me, by the way. Have Jeannie. She's Jeannie's palette, and I do have her linked in my description, and I've got some other things linked in my description for the Crafty Bunch. If you're not already in there, go ahead and get in there for that free group. I've got my workshop, my clay video course in there if you're interested in that. Yeah, I've got some different links in there, so look in the description. And oh, hey, Tammy, how are you? I heard you might be joining us tonight. I'm going to be in another event with my other group, which I haven't done in a while, but Live Painting Sisterhood. We're going to be doing another Valentine's thing, and I'll be doing this really cool heart that's going to have a zipper. So, anyway, that's something really interesting. It's going to be out of clay. So hopefully you guys can join at 7 o'clock tonight, and that'll be posted in my Crafting with Kim group as well. All right, so I think we got a few people rolling in here. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I have an hour, and let's see how far I can get with that. I'm hoping that I'll be able to knock most of it out. I'm using a variety of clays today. I'm using like 3 or 4 different types of all polymer, but pretty much different brands and different consistencies and stuff, just so you can kind of see a variety. I'm watching you and painting while I watch. Well, good. That's exactly what a lot of us do. I think if we have the time, is we kind of craft and create and watch at the same time, which is great. Alrighty then, guys. I'm going to go ahead and put my camera down below. I've got some close-up work here, and some of it's like really close up because of the face and whatnot. So, but hopefully I got my camera angled. I changed my camera angle today, so we'll see if this is going to work. All right, so yeah, what am I doing here? Well, okay, like I said, it's a hybrid. It looks like, what is this thing right now? It's gonna be a queen, believe it or not. So I'm gonna show you a little bit of the process. Of course, I had to do some of it ahead of time because of drying times and whatnot. Hey, Cindy, how are you, darling? I did catch you this morning with your heart first thing. It was a good job. All right, so what I had to do here is I made this cone shape out of clay. Now, how did I do this? I'm waiting. Are you waiting on your polymer clay work? Okay, awesome. Yeah, the YouTube videos. Have you watched any of them yet, Terry? Have you had a chance to check them out? Just curious to see. But okay, so what I did here, like I said, to create this cone, this was nothing but, getting a cone shape. And then this is like multi-purpose paper. I needed something kind of heavy to hold my clay piece on while I actually, while it baked until it got hard. So I did that. I put this together and then I had to roll out my piece of clay. For those that might be first timers, the clay I used was this, comes in a block like this. I've got, like I said, various kinds, Sculpey and all that, but you roll it out like in sheets, kind of like fondant. And then I literally placed it around like a sticky mess on here. Now, another thing I did too, oh, you have washed. All right, good deal. So another thing too is because I wanted, now a person could literally just, if they wanted to, it's no big deal. Thank you for sprinkling there, Miss Christie. Appreciate that. If you wanted to just keep the cone in there, I'm pulling it out because I didn't really want anything on the inside, but a person could, keep the cone in there. But another idea, just, as an FYI, is, by the way, when I did this is I rolled it out and I sandwiched it over and then I had to just really kind of, it's not exactly smooth, but I wanted kind of a rough texture anyway. It's kind of like a stone finish. So then, like I said, I lined this with aluminum. I put aluminum foil around that, and then I put it in here so that it would be able to pull out after it's baked. So I still have the aluminum in there. I kept it in there just to show you folks, like why, how that works. So technically now, I can pull this aluminum foil out of here. Hopefully it's not going to stick. It usually doesn't. And that way I'll have a nice clean, clay surface inside. Now, another thing that you can do too with this is if a person's doing something along this line and you wanted to put, see, there you go, just pulls right out. Got a little bit left in there. You could actually, while before you bake it, you could do little cutouts, little holes, poke little holes, or little cutouts of some sort when the clay is raw. And that way, when you take all this out, you'd have like little holes and you could set it and make like a lit piece inside if you wanted to. I considered that with this one, but I've got a few little lit pieces. So this one's just going to be a solid. But anyway, yeah, so I just clean all that mess out in there. And I mean, if a person wanted to paint this inside, you can, but I don't see the purpose. I mean, it's, you're not really going to see that once she's all put together. This is pretty much going to be her body. And I like the fact she's got like this cone-shaped body, but I'm telling you, I think it'll all come together pretty cool. All right, so that's how I got the cone shape. And the reason I did this ahead of time is I wanted this to be, already baked and kind of strong. I will have to do another baking on this when it all puts together, so that everything else will be all nice and hard and finished up. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to give her a head. I do have a back on this. Let's see. I think the back was a little I did a pretty good job actually, but there is a little bit of a small seam line here. Not that it's going to matter that much, but I'm going to try to remember to put that towards the back. I'm going to put a little bit of a robe on her, and that's going to be a total experiment, guys. So we'll see if that's a fail or not. But what I've got here is a little ball of white clay, and this is just my basic, Craft Smart clay. If you wanted to, I don't remember if I might have put a little bit of an armature a lot of times because I can save my clay. I start with I think I did put a little bit of the aluminum foil in there like a ball, and then you just work around that. Okay, and then I'm just getting that smooth for her head. It's always best to, I've got all these crazy rings on, but it's better if you can take your rings off. That way you won't have any impressions in there, but I'm just trying to get her head. Hey, Becky, how's it going, girl? Becky Ann, it's good to have you here, darling. All right, so like I said, I'm just going to pop this. This is going to be her head. Remember Alice in Wonderland, Queen of Hearts, off with her head. I'm actually putting her head on. Has anybody ever seen that? I mean, Alice in Wonderland, or I haven't not seen the Tim Burton version, but I need to see it because I like his stuff. He's kind of wonky and crazy, kind of like him. So we got a head on her. All right. Now she's got a little bit of a seam line and everything going on, but I'm not gonna worry about that because we got some other things that are happening here. So we're gonna do her face. Now, like I said, it's just literally sitting on top of her. You know what? I think for the sake of safety, I like to add a little bit of this just on this because it's not really pressed down too much. I'm gonna put a little bit of bead. It would probably stick okay, but like I said, I don't want her head to roll off once we got it done. But this is a little bit of this Sculpey glue that'll just help ensure that. See, it's already got a little bit of an indentation where I pressed down on it to ensure that her head will not come off. Now, this stuff is really smooth, guys, so you got to be a little bit light-handed with it, light-fingered, okay? You can always re-smooth it, use some cornstarch, which if it's kind of sticky, that's what I do, and you'll be seeing me mess with that cornstarch in here. I'm on the Tim Burton one. She has, yes, she does have one big head. As a matter of fact, this head should be bigger for this body. But like I said, mine's a little bit of a hybrid. I've got a little bit of a Pinterest reference going on here, but I'm mixing it up to kind of make it my own. So, and I kind of looked at the size, but yeah, her head is like crazy big in that thing. But I didn't want it to be as cartoony as that. I kind of want it to be a little bit, I don't know, kind of more normal, but not normal. How do I say? All right. So you're wondering what all these like crazy pieces are. Look, if you look at this now, one thing, what have you got here? We've got a cone or like a triangle. We've got a circle. Okay. What is this? We got like this long, just, rolled out piece here, just like a line in a sense. I mean, everything about creating is really nothing but shapes. And even when you're drawing, painting, it's all just a bunch of shapes. So that's kind of what we're doing. We're putting all these shapes together to actually make something kind of cool. All right. So, I mean, I can get really detailed with this piece, and I thought about, because I like doing some really cool like detailed stuff, but for the sake of simplicity and time here, I'm just doing simple arms. Like I said, if I really wanted to get, if I had time, I would do some really amazing like arm pieces and things like that. Actually, I'm going to bring her arms down a little bit like that. Okay, these are going to be her arms. And they will, like I said, this is all going to stick together, but these are really simple arms. And I'm probably going to end up painting these arms with this brown tone here. I thought about making them black like the Queen of Hearts arms, but like I said, it's my version, so I'm going a little bit different. So I'm just kind of sticking those little hands on there. I think I liked it when they were crossed too, because she's going to be having a heart, holding a heart. So see how we got some little, and they're very simple. Like I said, this is nothing brain surgery, but you can just, if you wanted to put fingers on her, do it major detailed, you can do that. But I'm trying to keep it simple for you guys. Okay. So there we go. Now we're going to work on the face a little bit. I guess I could have put these arms on a little bit later. And if you want them really smooth, you can, like I said, take your finger light-handedly, smooth them out. Okay. So we got that far. Now, I'm going to work on her face for a second. So to get the face, we need to have some eyes. Let me see I'm going to use a stylus for that. I'm trying to remember what ball stylus. You want to get the right size stylus because you got to press like a little impression up in her eyes. And I think this is the right size here. We're going to go with this one. Like I said, this is kind of close-up work, and hopefully you guys will be able to see. But I'm just going to make like two little eye socket kind of things, okay? Press into there, and we're going to press this one into here. Hopefully that's not too far apart. She looks kind of like an alien or a ghost right now, doesn't it? I think that's, again, I'm just eyeballing this, guys. You just want to put like a little impression in there, okay? And I'm going to put some eyeballs. That's just her sockets right now. I kind of pre-did it, so I got my, like I said, this is small work. So I have a couple of my little teeny pieces here that I'm going to work with in a minute, and I'm going to put those on as well. All right, so let's go with the nose now. The nose is nothing but a little teeny piece of like a triangle, okay? And I kind of preformed it out a little bit, but what you can do is take that little teeny piece, they're just little noses, and I just kind of put it between my fingers like that. And then you can take another small little stylus and actually make some like little little teeny, my camera, hopefully it's not too, put little two teeny nose holes in it like that. And you have to reform it a little bit when you get on there. So I'm going to kind of put that on. Sometimes it does get a little misshapen. And I'm not, you know what, that nose might be a little bit too big for me, but we'll see once I get it on there. I don't want it to look too much like a snowman. It's supposed to look like a little woman. But when I get her hair and everything on there, I think it'll work okay. All right, so I've got the nose. Like I said, it looks kind of snowmanish right now, but give me a chance to kind of play with it a little bit. So while we're working with this, I'm curious. I want to hear some love, a little bit about love. To me, I love Valentine's Day because I'm a lover and I love love and I like to know everything about like love and people here. I like to hear love stories. I work with seniors. Sometimes I do home care and I always like ask them like, where did you guys meet and what did you do? And like to hear their story. So does anybody want to tell me a little bit about like, not real lengthy, but like how long you've been with, if you have a mate, how long you've been with your mate, if you do anything particularly special for Valentine's Day. Okay, let's see, make some comments here. Oh, you guys are saying hi. Hey, 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 everybody. Hey, hey. So everybody's saying hey. Good deal. All right. So like I said, I'm just getting a cute little nose on here. I almost think that nose is a little bit too big. I might end up taking some of that off. And the way I do that is I could either pull it off or I can try cutting it off. If I try cut it off, it might be all right if it's not stuck too bad. Sometimes this clay will get too sticky on itself and you might have to take it off without having to distort the darn thing too much. All right. All right, so let me press that back in there. If I don't like that nose in the end, I'll end up taking it off and redoing it, but we'll see how it goes once we get everything up. Sometimes proportion, it's hard to tell until you get the rest of it on there. But I kind of press it in a little bit flatter too, so it doesn't stick out so much. Yeah, so let's hear some love story. I was with my husband 30 years, but he died. Oh no, that is so sad. I am so sorry to hear that, Miss Terry. Yeah, that's a long time to be with somebody and then lose them. Well, that's your heart. That's sad to hear. But you know what? You did have those great 30 years, didn't you? You had those wonderful years of being with your love. That's great. He would buy you roses. Aw, that's sweet. They say I saw something in one of the things that we're doing tonight about the roses, saying that they're more. I think how many roses, Terry? If you're on here, how many amount of roses are sold during Valentine's Day? I think Valentine's Day and Mother's Day is the longest time we're doing for roses. All right, so I'm going to piddle with that nose in a little bit. I want to go ahead and get her eyes on now, probably. Okay, so we're going to do her eyes. Anybody else got any stories, like love stories they'd like to tell about with their mates and all that? I'm taking this little guy here, so I'm just trying to smooth that out. These little silicone tools are kind of nice for that. Okay, so like I said, her nose might be a little bit on the bigger side for me. I wanted a little teeny, cute, like pug nose, like a little teeny guy. All right, we'll see. We'll see. All right, now let's go ahead and get her eyes on there. So just little balls, okay? I'm just taking these little balls and I'm putting them inside here. They might even be a little bit big. Well, like I said, she's going to be a little bit cartoony, but not like overly cartoony. I guess is how I say it. All right. So, and I'm trying to, you know what? I tell you one thing, working with white clay it's pretty difficult to keep it from getting dirty. There, you really have to have your whole area really clean. If you're using your pasta maker, you're got to be clean. But if you do get a little bit dirty, you can take a baby wipe and actually clean a little bit of it off in that sense. So there's her eyes. Now let's see. I'm gonna look this real quick. I'm gonna do brown eyes on her, and I've got some brown clay that I've already rolled out. And I'm just going to take these little dots here. See how small these guys are? Super small. But I want to flatten them out a little bit. Sometimes you can use your little stylus tools and things like that to work them. Okay, I'm kind of working that in there like that. I'm going to do the same on this one. I did make sure I used a cutter, a little teeny, I knocked her over, a little teeny cutter to make sure that these these were exactly the same size because I didn't want her eyes, her pupils to look, or not the pupils, but this is called what is the colored part of your eye called? I forget. Anyway, I wanted those to be pretty equal, okay? I didn't want them to be uneven that much, so I made sure I cut those out exact. Now here's the deal though. A person, if they didn't have all these different colored clays, you could iris this. Thank you, Terry. I forgot what that's called. Um, that you could actually just paint these on. You could just paint your little brown or whatever color. I thought about doing blue eyes because I got blue, but I thought I'd go brown this time, do something a little bit different. All right, so once again, I could take a little dot of brown. I debated by taking just a little dot of black paint and doing this, but I had my little black here, so I'm just going to use this little bit of black to make that. And of course, you want to add a little bit of that white dot in there too to give her that reflection in the eye to make them come alive. But see how small work this is? But it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to play around with. So I've got that one and that one. Okay. Her eyes are kind of on the big side, but I wanted them big like that. Okay, still not sure about that nose. That nose looks too big. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't. All right, let's see. Play with it a little bit. There's a little spot up here that's kind of bugging me because it's not smooth enough. But yeah, I think her nose will be okay. What do you guys think? Does it look big to you? Her nose looks too big, but I think it's kind of becoming kind of cute. All right, so that's what we got so far. She looks funny without hair, I know, but once we get the hair on, I think she'll look okay. Now, here we're going to do the lips. We've got little teeny peeps for the lips here. I'm actually going to get that up here with my X-Acto blade. See these little heart lips I did? Okay, so she's going to have heart lips. All right. This clay, by the way, this red clay is a really inexpensive, cheap clay. I sometimes, if I'm just lazy and I don't want to go all the way to my local Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something, or order online, they have an inexpensive clay at the Dollar General. It's called Artist Loft, and you can get, okay, so she's got her little lips there, okay? You can get these packs of these little guys, like, small, I think they're like 2 ounces, but all come in like a little pack of primary colors for like $3 or $4. I mean, but the problem with these clays is that they work, but they're like crazy sticky. You have to put a lot of cornstarch in there to get them to where you can actually work with it. And I just like literally roll it like I'm rolling bacon with it to kind of, because it's so darn sticky. All right, so we got that. So we got our little lippers. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little press, and I'm going to bring those out on the side. Let me see if I can do this without messing it up. Just a little bit of a smiles, kind of what I'm going with. This is going to be hard to see until it's baked. Oh, one thing I forgot to do, and I knew I'd forget to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I just kind of brought her lips out like a smile, more of a smile. And it's hard to see, but once I think it's baked and we get the color on, and I'm going to actually probably do it in a little bit of black. Maybe I'm just kind of putting an impression in there. Ooh, come on, girl. All right, we're kind of going with that. All right, so now what I wanted to do, darn it, and I forgot, is I wanted to color her cheeks a little bit and her face. I'm going to go ahead and do that anyway, and I'm going to be using, this is where these pastels come in, these dry pastels, because you can put a little bit of blush tone, because her face is like really stark white, and the rest of her kind of body robe is, pretty dark, and I was going to do her arms in the tan as well. But I didn't want her face to be like really super tan. So I figured what I would do is just put a little bit of this on here using my brush. And hey, Kendra, how's it going? I saw you guys making all your Valentine's cards earlier today. Yeah, there we go. So I'm taking a little bit, I just brushed it off, and I'm just putting it on this clay. Like I said, the clay is a little sticky, but this will give her a blush tone and make her look a little bit more like, like she's got a little bit of life to her. All right, so I'll turn it so you guys can kind of see it. And it kind of ties in that a little bit of that tan with with her coloring. And I'll put a little bit of that a red tutu for like her what you call it, for her cheeks. It might be hard to see in the camera, but you can actually see the difference now. It's got just a little bit of color. I'm just doing like a little light brush on her. And this is actually one of the ways that people do a lot of figurines. They do this. They use these pastels because it's such a light little touch. All right, so you can kind of see she's got a little bit of a blushy going on. And that's what I want. I don't want it to be overkill. Okay. I'll brush that off and kind of whoosh it off a little bit. And I think once it's baked, I will do a little extra work once it's baked. I want to put little teeny eyelashes on her with, I'll just do that with a small brush, I believe. I don't think I'm going to do that with clay. It'd be too much of a pain. I'm not worried about the back of her too much because I'm getting ready to put her flaming crazy red hair on. Kim just says, I'm great, just going home from work, going to sit some coffee. You and your coffee girlfriend. You guys, I don't know, man. I would be like flying high of all that coffee you guys drink. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of touch of like buck up her cheeks here. Oh, look at you. They look so cute. They look so cute. Oh, she's starting to look. And I think the nose is all right. First, I thought it was too big. I always think whenever I've done noses on things, I always think it's because I think I don't like big noses. I just think I like to have a little petite nose. Sometimes I think my nose is too big. I look at it and I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I like my nose. All right. Oh, let's see. She looks like a little angel. That's kind of what, see, this was a concept. Like I said, I did a little referencing on Pinterest and that I have some angel references that are sort of like this. But then I want to do this version, but actually make her, like I said, into a Queen of Hearts. See there? She's got some blushy going on. She's cute, huh? All right, so now let's put this crazy wild hair. Now the hair is where I got the inspiration from the Tim Burton thing. I'm using this clay, this red lava clay. I shouldn't have to use it all. But and it's super dang sticky, guys. Even though I've already added to it. So here you go. I'm gonna show you what I do. Literally, like put it on. I'm like putting cornstarch all over this thing just to get it. And you would think that the white would discolor the clay, but it really doesn't. I mean, if you mix it in good enough, it makes a little bit duller, but it doesn't matter because actually once the clay's baked, it's a little bit on the duller side. It takes away the sheen. So if a person likes it a little bit more, turn that so you can see her. If they like it a little bit more glossy or satiny when you're done, then you can always add a gloss to it. You can use like a polyurethane. I like to use a water-based polyurethane and just paint it afterwards. Some of the spray ones you don't want to use because they will kind of react to the clay after time. They kind of break down. So, but that one's pretty good. So anyway, yeah, I just had to take that stickiness out, and that's the way to do it. Just put a little bit of that cornstarch on there. All right, so this crazy hair, I'm not doing anything particular. It's almost going to be like a big glob, but to save some of my clay, I'm going to add a little bit of this in here, this aluminum foil, but just because I need to save a little bit of the clay for some hearts maybe, or I could just go, this is the last of my red clay, I think. So I was trying to conserve it, but I could just run down to the store and get some more of this if I need to put some hearts on her. Like, even if I don't finish, if I was to bake this, I could always rebake it and add it on later. So it's not a big deal if you need to, do a baking or wait or whatever. All right, so I just want her hair to kind of be a bit of a hot mess because I want it to be like a glob, but I also want it to be a little bit of a heart shape because that's what the one in the Tim Burton's is kind of like the heart shape thing. But I got to make it so it's bigger enough and kind of clumpy enough to look like a big old piece of hair. All right, so more love stories. Anybody got any more love stories they want to tell? Like, or how about this? Does anybody have any plans for Valentine's Day? Like, is there anything particular your honeys do for you as a regular thing, or is there anything that that you're wishing for Valentine's Day, or do you do anything particularly special for your honeys or your loved ones in your life? It doesn't have to be a spouse or a mate. It could be, it could be another family member. It could be your kids or a friend or whatever. I'd like to hear some other like Halloween. Not Halloween. Halloween. What am I talking about? Thanks. Get your seasons right, Kim. holidays. This is Valentine's Day. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick this on here, and then if I need to play, I'll have to play with it a little bit. You're gonna make yourself something special. Good for you, darling. You should make yourself something special. Let me see if I've got the placement. I'll look at my reference real quick. Oh, I don't want her to have a big, I want that Tim Burton one. I think it's funny, like the forehead is like crazy big, but I think that looks like really weird. So I'm gonna put her hair, I think, about right here. I think I'm gonna do it about right there. Okay. All right. And this is still like major sticky, major sticky. Probably could have been put a little bit closer because she's still got a kind of a big old forehead, but I do want it to be a little bit of a heart shape. Oh, you guys can't even see that. I'm sorry. All right, so there we go. We're kind of working on it. Sometimes you got to kind of play around with these things and kind of get them to where you want them. And like I said, I just wanted, so I was thinking about putting like little roses on there because I saw some of them that had like little roses, and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to go there. Little twists and turns and curly cues, and I thought I'm just going to make mine like a little hot mess because I don't really care too much about it, and you can just kind of poke it and create like a big old bundle of hair. It's kind of what I'm going for. But I got covered that little piece up in the center there. That looks a little weird where I got that aluminum foil. This stuff is getting sticky already, I swear. Yeah, it has something to do with the heat too. You know, when you're in an environment, it's a pretty warm day, this clay, it can get pretty sticky. But this, like I said, this is, I like using it because it's got the color and everything, and it's real cheap, but man, oh man, it's so sticky. It'd be better to go get you some, you know, a decent clay from like the Dollar Tree, or I mean, not Dollar Tree, but from Michael's or the Sculpey, you know, if you want to use your colors and whatnot. All right, so I'm just gonna just form that up a little bit, and I do want to put some in the back because right now she looks she's a little bald going on the back. And I'll shape that up a little bit better, guys. I'll make it look a little bit more like a hot to-do in a minute. I want to work on some of the other things because I got to get her robe on too, and I'm going to make sure that I have time to do all that. 30 minutes, I swear it goes fast. I know that we got an hour, but good night. It happens fast for me. Just because I like to play around with my clay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pile the rest of this on here. And like I said, I'll probably have to end up going, if I can scrounge around and find any more clay. I could always paint some clay and use red if I want to, but if not, I need to put some red hearts on her, but I'm not going to worry about that either. Like I said, you can see I'm just literally just like slamming this on here in no particular order for her hair. Because I really kind of, like I said, it's not hard to do. I just want to actually make it look like a mess. I don't want it to be all clean and perfect. It's like she's got like an updo, a bun, or a tease look, or whatever you want to call it. Anybody ever have? I'm old enough. My mom was a beautician. Oh my gosh, when I was little, she used to tease my darn hair and put my hair up in like little freaking, what do you call those things? I don't even know. And I have photographs of me in a wool suit with that teased up hairdo. And when I was like 6, you know, I was like, how old was I? Like 6 years old or something. Oh God, I hated it. I was such a tomboy. I couldn't stand being in that stuff. All right, so like I said, I'll mess with her hair a little bit later. I'll get it right before I really put it in the oven to get her baked. But she's kind of funky. Anyway, so we got a hair going on. All right, now I think I want to make it look a little bit fuller too, like I'll fill it out and add some more red clay to it. But I do want to try to do the robe part here. And the robe is another thing that's going to be, there we go, get her a little bit. The robe is another thing that's going to be a little bit more, what have you got on your cheek there, Missy? I don't know. I might have to put a little bit more blush on you, but anyway, I'm telling you, once I get, because I'm thinking about doing the blue, she has like blue eyeshadow and like eyelashes, and when I get all that on there, she'll kind of pop out a little bit more on her face. Like I said, I'll end up doing that after she's dry, so I can work with her a little bit better to paint that on. All right, so let's go ahead and work on the robe part for now, though, and I'm going to show you. This could be a success or it could be a fail, guys, and I'm telling you very, very sincerely. Let me get this one out of the way. These are great to work on, these little tile guys, because you can just literally put them right in the oven. And I like working on them. But I've got this one over here. Now this piece here is going to be her robe. And like, okay, this, like I said, is a total experiment. I've never done this before. I mean, I've rolled it out and everything, but what I did is this is white clay underneath, and I've got the red on top, and I just painted the red. There's one thing that I will say is generally when I paint the raw polymer clay, I don't have much problem with it, but there's something about the acrylic paints with the Michaels brand that kind of reacts, the paint kind of reacts to the clay, and it makes it like crazy super sticky. If I let it sit for more than a day or two, it causes this real crazy stickiness. So, and I've had this sitting for a couple of days, and I understand that this is not perfect and all that, but what I wanted to do was to try to achieve a texture on here with rolling this, my little decorative roller on here, and seeing if I can get some of the white to show through, because I wanted her robe to be white underneath and red on the outside. So that's kind of the effect I'm going with. So what I did is I just painted acrylic paint on this. I put a couple coats, and then I had to, like, literally, I'm going to show you once again. It's like, it's pretty good, but once I'm going to show you, I literally just doing this number. The reason why is I'm getting ready to roll this with a decorative roller, and I don't want it to be sticky. I don't want it to stick to my roller, and I don't want this paint to be pulling off on my roller. I'm kind of like being a daredevil here, because I'm hoping that my roller is not going to get all messy. If it does, I'll just try to clean it up with some baby wipes or whatever, but because it's a wooden roller. So I've got it pretty decent. Like I said, I don't know if you want to try this at home, but it's an experiment. We're going to see how it happens. And even if it doesn't roll correctly, I'll be able to go ahead and put it on her, and then I will be able to repaint it or fix it up once it's dry. Okay. Oh, hi, Kim. You look nice. I look nice. Okay. You mean my girl looks nice, or I don't know if I look. All right. So what I did, like I said, I got it rolled out pretty flat. This is going to be her robe. So I'm taking my decorative roller here, which I love this little guy. I need to get a couple different ones of these, and I've used it in a few other things. So I'm just going to put a roll on here and see what happens. And this is an experiment, guys. It might not even show through, or it might. It's not showing through like I like, but that's okay. At least it's putting a texture on there. What I was hoping for, and I did a little piece before, is that it created, it might be because of the fact that I have this, what you call it on here. I put so much cornstarch not showing through, but it's okay. It's still got a little texture on there. And then what I'm going to do, what I was hoping that would happen is that when I rolled this, that I would press enough that some of the white would come through underneath and make it kind of a cool effect. But it didn't really do that, but I ain't worried about it. Because now I said here is my second option. I'm going to go ahead and put the robe on her, but I will add, what do you call it? I will add some white hearts on her, or even gold hearts. All right, so I did make sure that I put this, because this is very sticky, I put it on a silicone mat because it sat for a couple of days and I didn't want it to stick. So what I'm going to do now, put my camera up so you guys can see. All right, so I've got her like this. Like I said, I'll be able to play with her face a little bit more. I'm pulling this off. You see, it's like a little sheet of something. And I've got a little red there. Dang it, Kim. I've got a little red here. I'm going to have to fix my red up. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting her little robe on. You know, before I put her robe on, let me do this. I'm going to paint her arms up, because that'll be hard to do when it's dry. So you're saying, hi. Yeah, I look nice? Really? I don't know. I got a little rag do on my head. I think I'm looking that nice, but thank you anyway, girlfriend. All right, so let me take a brush here. And I'm going to go ahead, like I said, this is the raw clay, but I'm going to go ahead. This clay, the one baked here, her little cone, it was actually white too. It was white, and I painted it. So I'm painting, like I said, I want to paint her arms because I want it to look the same. I almost considered keeping her arms white because her face is kind of off-white, but I think this is going to be the way to go. And I'm not too concerned about it if it needs another coat, because I can always put another coat on it after it's baked too. But with the robe on there, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get in the little areas. That's why I at least want to do one coat first, because it helps it. It's like kind of painting ceramics when it's dry. It's sort of like that. It's not as porous, but still it's the same kind of concept. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, I've got a good coat right there. I need to get inside these little crevices though. And there's Miss Jan. Hi, Jan. How's it going, girlie? Did you make your eggs yet? I told you, you need to take that clay and just roll you out some eggs. Make some pretty little polka dots and speckled eggs or something on them. It'd be easy to do. Eggs are easy. She made this really cool nest, bird's nest thing the other day. I saw a picture of it, and she's like, I need some eggs. I'm like, make it out of clay. That's the one thing great about clay. If I can't find things that I need or in the store, I'll just make it out of clay. Makes it so easier because you don't have to, honestly, I don't have to go shopping that much because I can just make it. Keys, molds, whatever. Get you some molds and make some really fun things. All right, so there we go. I'll have to jazz those up a little bit more too once we're done, but I got the first coat on there. Okay, I did remember to tell you a tip before, but if you weren't watching or listening before, if you got raw clay and you've painted it and you want it to dry, you have to let it air dry because you can't put a heat gun on it like you would some of your other crafts. It'll start setting up the clay, although that's necessary. Too bad in this case, but I don't particularly like doing that. I like to just leave it raw until it's baked. But once it's hard and you've put a coat on there, you could pop it with a little bit of a heat gun. All right, so now that I've got that one coat, I will definitely put another coat on her arms in a little bit. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and get this robe on. So like I said, I've got a little smudge here, which kind of irks me, but I'll have to repaint that or fix that up. So what I wanted to do is create a collar. Just like turn that so you guys can see it. I need to be able to see it too. I'm kind of creating like a little collar on her, okay? And her robe, pressing it all down. And I definitely have to fix up those little white spots. That kind of irks me. Or I could just go with the white spots and use them and make them, her arm's too high right here. I need to put that down a little bit. Make them so that they're like, oh, that one just covered up. That one little red spot, good. I don't even have to see that one. All right, so you got a robe here, okay, with her collar. This one here, I'll have to do something, either clean it up or put a little red edge or something around it here. And see, when I did that too, it kind of covered up a bit of her, the back of her, so I don't need that much hair. I can kind of roll that down a little bit though. That'd be kind of cool. And what I'm going to do, like I said, I'll put some really cool like hearts, like some white hearts on her. Maybe, I think I'll do white and gold because I've got a little bit of a gold banner thing going on here that I'm going to use by putting that big old robe on her. And I need to clean the edges a little bit too. I could even put some little decorative things on the edge of the robe if I wanted to. You're doing such a great, beautiful job. I love her robe. Yeah, the robe is kind of cool. The robe really makes it. The robe was kind of like an afterthought. I wasn't even sure I was going to put a robe. And then I started examining the other one for a bit. And I thought, you know what? Why not a robe? A robe would be really cool. I want it to stick down a little bit more because this is going to be a thinner piece of clay. So I think what I'm going to do, and like I said, I'll have to go back and put a little bit of extra paint on the robe once it's wet. I mean, I bake it. But I want that robe to kind of tack down. So I'm putting a little bit. I don't want it to tack down all the way, just like right there. So I'm going to put a little bit of that glue in there, make that hold together until it bakes. All right, so we kind of got her. Like I said, I do need to play with her hair, and I'm going to paint her face up a lot cuter too. I'll put some blue eyeshadow on her and all that sort of thing, make her cute. All right, so now we got this far. Thank you, Minnie. Yes, she's looking kind of cute. All right, now I don't have any hearts cut out, but I ain't worried about that neither. I do have one heart. You guys, actually, I sent a few of these as giveaways, but see my little heart mode? I know, Terry, you got one, and a couple of you ladies got them. I made these like little lockets for them to have, but I also used a particular type of foam. I've got a new foam that I'm playing with. It's called a foam clay, and it's really good for the molds. It's very lightweight, and I'll end up doing another tutorial with that. I'm still kind of trying to figure out a good project for me. But anyway, it creates these as like a little silicone mold. I just pressed it in there, and I've got this one's dry here, and I'm going to paint this one gold. And I've got a little banner also that I'm going to put on her. So the way I'm going to embellish her body is I'm going to put like little hearts. I've got this banner I'll show you in a second, and I'm going to put some gold and red hearts on her. This one I think maybe is the one I'll have her, since this is the only decorative one I've got. Maybe I'll have her do like that with that one. Okay, put her up a little bit so you can see it again. Here, I got another scam call. What in the world? Last time I went live, I had scam calls. They must know when I'm going live or something. They just want to call me just to bug me. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Did I get any more stories? Look, see, you're doing such a beautiful job. Oh, yeah, yeah. Like I said, I would definitely. I want to see your eggs, Jan. When you do your eggs, I want to see your eggs. Okay. So this is just, I'm just putting some gold paint on this guy. It's all dry. This foam clay is really interesting. It's very lightweight. All you guys that are doing the would you bends and whatnot, I mean, I hear that stuff's a little bit pricey. I don't bother with it because I'll just get a silicone mold and make mine out of clay. Thank you. Because you can go a lot further for a lot less money by doing it that way. And there are so many cool silicone molds. Even I think the would you bend has molds. I've seen so many cool silicone molds out there, and you can just save yourself some time and effort, and you can plus you can use them over and over again. So I think it's more beneficial to use molds like these silicone molds with different things. Anyway, so I got her there. I might put a little dusting or something else on her top, a little red or something on top, because she's that gold's going to kind of blend in with that tan back there. Maybe a little white on top of that or something. Okay, now, so I've got that. And then I also have my little banner guy cut out here, my little ribbon banner. Let me bring that over here. All right, so I've already punched out Queen of Hearts. See, it says Queen of Hearts on it. I use my little letter punches for that. You've been making faux food. Oh, yeah, faux food. That is another thing. I was actually going to make her with the foam. I tried it. It was a total bust. Because number one, I was trying to make the cone like this, and it just, I don't know, it didn't smooth out like I wanted it to, and it just was not working. So that's why I ended up switching to to back to my polymer clay, but I will figure it out somehow. I'll go play with it and get some, because I know a lot of people use it, and I've actually had to watch a few videos myself about it just to get familiar with it. And once I get familiar and do some stuff, I'll make some. I think it's for me, it's going to be more like doing like figurines and critters and stuff like this, and more, or like for pressing molds. It's really good for pressing molds. So all I'm doing right now is just painting my little guy here. This is my little ribbon. And what I will do is once this dries, there's a couple ways you could do it. I could have painted this and then stamped it like with actual ink and put the lettering in there. But I wanted to do it this way. And then I'll go ahead once this is dry and I'm going to put her on her body. I'll go back over it with I'll distress it a little bit or grunge it or whatever you guys want to call. And I'll bring out those letters so you'll be able to see the Queen of Hearts in there a little bit better. All right, so right now I'm just trying to get the color on there. So I know, isn't it? It's very spongy. And it's kind of like gooey and spongy to kind of work with. It's kind of fun in a sense, but I'm so used to using the polymer clay that it's something that I got to get used to. So definitely got to work on your hair there, girlfriend. Got to do something with your hair. All right, so we're going to let that dry for a second, and then I'll be able to put that on there. Like I said, since I got these gold and it's kind of blending in with the tan, what I'll probably do is I'll go over a little bit of black, and maybe I'll put like a little like light dust of white over everything because there's a butter. It'll kind of bring that out a little bit, and it won't be a little bit more of a contrast. I've got a little bit more. Let's see. I've got like 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and paint her arms a little bit better because now that they're a little bit drier, get some of those streaks. I don't like that brush for that. That's too floppy. I need a little bit firmer brush when I'm painting. Oh, what the heck is that? Mine's all sticky. I got a brush here I think I know what I did. I painted with one of my clients yesterday. Anybody see my little post with my little lady, Miss Nancy? She's 91 and she's never painted before in her life, and she's so proud. I went over there today, and she had that sunflower painting sitting, her little sunflower with the black background. If anybody saw it, she had it sitting right on her table, like where she eats. And I thought it was so cute. And her neighbor was over, and they were all like, "Oh yeah." And I'm like, "Hey, we're doing a gecko next week. She's hooked." But I was so proud of her. She did a great job. She was getting a little frustrated in the beginning, like new painters can. I'm like, just calm down. She kept trying to wipe it off and everything. I said, don't worry about it. We're going to fix it. It'll be fine. Don't have to worry about staying in the lines. So Yeah, yeah, it was really cute. Come on, can you get that little thing in there? Don't get it on my white. Don't get it on my white. Okay, get it on my white. Like I said, I think once I get all the hearts on her, she's going to look super cute. I am going to do some hearts in a second. Let me get to that. I've got a few more minutes. I can actually, besides this heart, I'm going to do some really simple cutout hearts. Couple ways, of course, you can do cutout hearts or hearts is you can simply, take a piece of paper as a pattern and cut your hearts out that way. I'm going to take this little piece here because I'm going to color this. Let me do this. I need to make this a little bit thinner. I just roll it through my pasta maker. Hold on for a second, real quick. I've got a pasta maker off to the side. It's one of these days I'll do that in the live. I've done it before and show you. It kind of just rolls it out like a piece of pasta, makes it nice and thin. But what I'm going to do here is, how many hearts do I want? I probably want enough here that I'll do them all. Let me go ahead and do that, guys. I got to paint this. Should have done that ahead of time, but I thought I might have a little bit of extra clay left over for it before. Here comes my husband pulling up, and he might come and say hello for a second. Well, that's a little bit dark. I don't like that red. Hold on, guys. I got to get my red out. I put it in my thing when I was working with her yesterday. Hey. Guys. Here we go. Sorry about that. All right, I'm back. So yeah, like I said, I'm just going to paint this piece here, and I'm just going to do some cutouts with, this is a flower petal, little cutouts that I got for like fondant, but it works great because it's a heart shape, and so I cheat with this one a lot of times for smaller hearts. I also have a cookie cutter that I can use as well, but yeah. Anyways, it's my non-sticky brush. Anyway, I had a sticky brush. What I was saying is I had a sticky brush. I used some of that glitter glue yesterday, and not glitter glue, the glitter paint, and put it on my little sunflower that I was working with her with. And maybe I didn't clean it off good enough because it's all sticky. I got to get something clean it off. I think I had some awesome somewhere. I stuck it in water and tried to get it clean, but I don't know. Figure out what I got to get. Anybody got any tips on how to get that stuff off of there? Usually it comes off pretty good, but I got a really crazy sticky brush. All right, so that's that. Kind of streaky, but it don't matter to me. I don't mind. Like I said, I like mine a little bit kind of rough. Like I don't necessarily like everything like really perfect. It's not totally dry, and normally I'd let it dry a little bit with the paint, but I'm not going to stress over it because I've got like 10 minutes left and I want to show you. So basically what I'm doing is just taking my little cookie cutter, make sure I'm in the, probably should have shaped this a little bit better. But okay, we're going to press down on that. Cut that out right there. I'm going to lift up. It took some of the paint off, but like I said, I don't care. Not bother me. I'll repaint it. I think I got enough space to do it over here. Maybe not. If I don't, whatever I get out of it, I get out of it. That's the way I look at it. All right, there we go. That one came up. Like I said, it's no big deal. All right, so now, hopefully I can pull these off. Come on, turkey. Don't do that to me. Someone gets stuck to the, this is sometimes why it's nice to have the silicone mats, because it won't stick to your surface so bad. All right, this white clay, I swear, is so sticky when it's hot. All right, so I'm just going to pull those up, get these up. If you have an issue like this where it's getting sticky on you and you can't get them up, then here's the way you do that. Couple things. You can take your little blades, you can get them up off the back like that. Just slice that up right there, slice that up right there. And then a couple things is you want to cut your little guys out, is just get your X-Acto knife and kind of clean it up. Okay, now I want the hearts. So basically, let me get you out of the way here. Get you out of the way. What I'm going to do with her is I'm going to put this right across like a little banner across the bottom here. And I'll finish that up too in a little bit. But I want to do these hearts. So I'm going to just get like a heart shape. Got to get that point in there. All right, and I can just take that little heart. I think I'm going to paint them up a little bit more. I don't want them this rough, but they do look kind of cool, kind of rough too. But I'm just going to take a lot of these little hearts, and just kind of place the hearts around on her. Hey, Kendra, you're still here. All right, good deal, girl. So that's kind of a key, but there's lots of ways. Like I said, sometimes if I need a particular shape of a heart or whatever it be, I'll just cut it out myself out of paper and use it as a template, or cut it out straight from the clay too. But I got to get a little bit of cleanup on aisle 3 over here. Figured these all cleaned up. Let's see, I got about 7 minutes. Anybody else have any questions about hearts, or anybody else want to tell me some stories? Like I said, nobody answered me that I saw in the comments. I have to go back if I missed them. Like what you're doing for Valentine's Day. What you're doing for Valentine's. Anybody have any? Is anybody big on Valentine's Day? Is your mate big on it? Are they lame, or are they? I know some mates can be kind of lame when it comes about. I love Valentine's Day though, because like I said, it's all about love to me. You know, I want it to be like a special love day. So I try to do something nice and cool. Is it more like a just go out to dinner and get some flowers, or is it kind of like a night of hanging out in the bedroom? You know what I mean? You know, having a good time that way. I don't know. All right. So get my little hearts. Hearts, hearts, hearts. All right. So I got a few of those guys cut out. Just another day at your house? Oh, come on, Mary. Come on. Got to get with the plan. Maybe when there's kids involved, it's maybe not as like romantic per se. I mean, I gotta admit, you know, I'm almost 60 some, and I got grandkids. I don't get no kids in the house, so you know, we have a little bit more time to ourselves for, you know, spending that kind of time, because I know when you got kids, I've been there. You know, focus, but you can still have fun with the kids. Valentine's Day is my son's. Oh my goodness gracious, that is such a cool day to be born on, though. I would think. Does he like being born on Valentine's Day, Terry? Does he think it's cool? I mean, I would think that's a better one than Christmas. I wouldn't want to be born. My daughter's birthday's close to Christmas, and I'm like, I always feel bad for her because it's like just a couple weeks from Christmas. See, if I hadn't been impatient, I would have let that paint dry, that it wouldn't have been so messy. And this, like I said, this clay's being messy anyway. But I ain't gonna stress over it too much. Like I said, clay is very forgiving. All you got to do is just put it back together, or roll it, or something like that. You'll be fine. 5 minutes. All right, guys, 5 minutes. And different for him, I think his first birthday dressed him up as a Cupid. Oh, how cute. What a great idea. You know what? I'd make him do that anyway. I know. What is he, like 13, 14? I'm like, listen, I'm going to pull out your Cupid outfit here. You got this little Depends diaper thing, you know, and I'm going to make you a bow and arrow. And we're going to take some pictures for your birthday. Yeah, I'm sure that would go over well with a 13-year-old boy. Yeah, he'd be like, Ma, stop, please. Really. All right. So anyway, heart. You guys think I'm a little bit kooky? Yeah, I come up with some funky things. But I think as a creative, you got to have some fun, you know. Never ever lose your sense of humor. All right, so I'm going to set the hearts aside because I got to repaint them. But I'm going to do, let's see, what can I put on here? I can actually get her banner on. I think I'm going to go ahead and put her banner on. And then he's turning 14. Yeah, they total blackmail. Wouldn't it be funny? By the way, guys, I know I've just got a few minutes left, and I'll be turning myself up here so you guys can see my face at the end. But make sure that you're in line. Next is Jeannie from the Crafty. This is a Crafty Bunch event. If you guys hadn't figured that out, and Miss Jeannie from Jeannie's Palettes coming up. She's got an hour, and she's either going to do a paint pour or paint or something even different than that. I think she did a butterfly the other day. So you know, you guys go check her out and see what she's got going on. And make sure you watch all the other ladies. If you're watching in the Crafty Bunch on your phone, you can just hit that little refresh on your phone and, you know, watch the rest of us. And appreciate everybody hanging in there and watching all us crafters while we do all of our little crazy stuff that we do. How am I going to get that Queen of Hearts on there? I think I'm going to do it like this. I put some glue on the back of it. This thing's going to be like a ribbon banner. It needs to stay on there somehow. Even if it doesn't touch, at least I've got some of the areas that got glue on them. One thing about this glue, it's really cool. I use it a lot. And have you guys seen me do these? I do use this stuff a lot. And I like it because um, it doesn't, I mean, it's like we're using regular glue, but it's made for polymer clay. And I don't know, position wise, Kim, let's see, let's move it over. Super sticky too. It does not dry until it's baked. What makes it kind of cool because you can kind of reposition as long as you don't tear your clay. It can be a little bit precarious, but I wanted to have it a little bit. Ow, stop, Kim. See, that's sticky already in the back. I got to go bake her, guys, so I can finish it up and do all the other little details to her because she's so darn sticky right now. I think I'm going to leave like those little curlies on the end. I kind of like that. And like I will put a little bit of white on her, I think, black and white, but it's going to say Queen of Hearts on the bottom and add the other little hearts and whatnot. And I just got, like I said, I got to get her baked up because everything's so darn sticky. But she will be cute. I'm telling you, I'll be jazzing her up. I'll be fixing up her eyeballs and putting her little mascara on, her eyelashes, and her blue eyeliner, not eyeliner, her blue eyeshadow. Okay, I got like 1 minute. I'm just going to come up here and say goodbye real quick, guys, because you guys got to go see Miss Jeannie. Appreciate you guys hanging out. And as soon as I finish her up, I'll stick it up there on my page, and you guys can ask any questions, see what you want to do. And I don't know, she might come and visit us on Sunday in the auction. We'll see, because I do have auction on Sunday. All right, I'm looking forward to see. Yeah, I will get her looking cute and fix her once I get her all dried up. But everybody go over. Love you. Thank you. Go see Jeannie from Jeannie's Palette and watch the rest of us girls. I think we're going to probably about 5 or 6, something like that. Um, Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. And like I said, next week we're in the auction on Sunday. And from there on, I'll be doing something tonight at 7 o'clock on the Plain So Creative Journey. All right. Bye, guys. Love ya. See you later.